healthy diet during breastfeeding. Many people on the internet have introduced very complicated rules on what you should eat when you breastfeed. However, when we look at scientific studies, we can actually see that what you should really be doing in terms of your diet is actually pretty basic. Hi viewers, this is Kurathalan and you are watching Nutro Plus. Today we will talk about the diet during breastfeeding. Before we proceed, subscribe to our YouTube channel for amazing content. So, in this video, I will explain why you only need to follow 4 easy rules if you want to make sure that your baby receives all the nutrients that your baby needs. And then I'm going to share with you 2 ingredients which you should limit when you breastfeed. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to explain under which circumstances you should avoid certain foods when you breastfeed. There are 4 simple rules that you need to follow as long as you breastfeed your baby. So let's go through them. Eat a variety of healthy foods. It's not very difficult to satisfy that feeling of hunger, right? Every fast food can do that. So you just ate a big fat burger with fries, extremely stuffed, but then after only just 1 hour has passed, you suddenly feel hungry again. Intake of micronutrients are also important. That's because you mainly give your body macronutrients, which are carbohydrates, fats and protein. But what your body really wants are not only just macronutrients, even more important are micronutrients, such as vitamins and minerals, right? And so, when I say eat healthy foods, when you breastfeed, what I mean are foods that not only mostly contain macronutrients, but also micronutrients to fill up those nutrient reserves of your body. Since different kinds of food provide your body with different kinds of micronutrients, you also want to make sure that you eat a variety of healthy foods. In fact, the US Committee on Nutritional Status during Pregnancy and Lactation recommends eating a wide variety of breads and cereals, grains, fruits, vegetables, milk products and meats or meat alternatives. And just a side note, this does not mean that you cannot eat the burger or fries and ice cream every now and then. Macronutrients, protein. When I say that micronutrients are important, I don't mean that you should not get any macronutrients, okay? In fact, one macronutrient which your body urgently needs when you breastfeed is protein, because protein is required to produce milk. Because of that, many scientists recommend an extra 25 grams of protein per day. Therefore, when you choose foods to eat, go for foods which are rich in protein, such as lean meat, tofu, nuts, seeds, beans, lentils, and eggs. On top of that, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists also recommends eating fish or seafood 2 to 3 times per week. However, when you do, please make sure that you stay away from fish which contains high levels of mercury. Examples here are king mackerel, big eye tuna, shark, and swordfish. Take supplements if necessary. One of the main reasons why the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists recommend 2 to 3 servings of fish per week is because fish does not only provide your body with protein, but it is also packed with micronutrients including vitamin D, zinc, or vitamin B. Nowadays, every often our typical diet does not include vitamin D, zinc, or vitamin B particularly. Thiamine and folate, which are B vitamins too. On top of that, your diet may also lack enough calcium and magnesium. However, it's difficult to say that in general because it very much depends on the diet and where you live, right? Still, if you are deficient of one of those nutrients, it can pose a health risk to you and your baby, as your reserves to bleed, which is why your doctor may recommend taking supplements. So please ask if it does make sense to take any supplements in your case. Eat enough calories. It's important to understand that breastfeeding requires a lot of energy because you have to provide your body with an extra 450 to 500 calories a day to produce breast milk for your baby. However, those calories should not mostly come from schnitzel, right? They are supposed to come from a variety of healthy foods. It's important to understand that although you probably cannot wait to lose weight, this is not the time to exaggerate the diets. In fact, The US Committee on Nutritional Status during Pregnancy and Lactation clearly recommends staying away from diets and medications that promise rapid weight loss. But please don't worry, because the truth is that breastfeeding itself is the best way to lose weight. And that's because your body requires more than the extra 450 to 500 calories a day that I have mentioned. As a result, you are going to burn more calories each day as long as your caloric intake does not exceed the recommended intake based on your weight and height, not counting the extra calories that you need. And finally, please keep in mind that if you want to lose weight, a better way than starving is exercising. So by following these 4 rules, you make sure that your reserves of nutrients are constantly being renewed. As a result, your body will always have enough nutrients available to produce a nutrient-rich milk for your baby. So basically, the good news is nobody knows exactly which nutrients have to go into your breast milk in which quantities, right? For example, studies have shown that you can eat as much vitamin C as you want, but there seems to be a level above which the body does not further increase the level of vitamin C in the milk, no matter how much it has at its disposal. In other words, your body is really clever. Avoid alcohol and caffeine. However, the bad news is that there are drinks which contain ingredients which your body cannot fill out, and that's alcohol and caffeine. Those go straight into your breast milk, and because of that, it is important that you limit the consumption of both. So, caffeine-wise, the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists recommend not more than 200 milligrams a day. So that's about 1 or 2 cups of coffee depending on their size. They also report that newborns and preterm babies are more sensitive to caffeine. Therefore, you may want to consume a lower amount of caffeine in the first few days after your delivery or if your baby's preterm. And then the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists says that it is okay to have an occasional drink every now and then, but then clearly recommend waiting at least 2 hours before you start breastfeeding again. Foods to avoid. The most commonly reported foods are cow milk, soy, eggs, fish, shellfish, wheat, nuts, and corn. Now, if it is indeed an allergy, then you would often observe symptoms like a rash, eczema, excessive vomiting, diarrhea, or bloody stools after consuming breast milk, which contains proteins from certain foods. And if it is a food intolerance, then the symptoms could be reflux or fussiness and crying after the feed. However, it is very difficult to identify an allergy or food intolerance in babies. If you suspect something is wrong, it is important that you talk with your pediatrician about it, okay? Now, if your baby is indeed sensitive to a certain food, you obviously have to follow your doctor's advice, and you may have to avoid that food at least for some time to see if it solves the problem. In general though, I do not recommend just eliminating the foods that I just mentioned like cosmic, soy, eggs, etc. from your diet without consulting with your doctor first. The reason is that there is a growing number of scientific studies which have found that early life exposure to allergens could actually be beneficial to avoid allergies in the future. In fact, those scientists found evidence that high levels of exposure could cause the immune system to be better educated. However, this only seems to be the case if that exposure happens in early infancy. So, please keep that in mind. Then there is one final thing to keep in mind. Please note that what you eat can also change the flavor of your breast. For example, if you eat lots of garlic for dinner and then breastfeed your baby, your milk will have a garlic taste too. And this could cause all sorts of reaction in babies. Some babies get fussy, some babies might drink less or even deny your breast. And then there are babies who just love it. So please keep that in mind. Alright, I really hope that you have found this really helpful. For more useful tips and health related topics, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.